Bonjour tout le monde, comment ça va? Welcome to French class. Today we are going to learn how to conjugate regular verbs like vendre. As you see here, vendre is ending in re, and we call those verbs verbs, and they are also regular because if you drop that ending, you have a stem that stay the same all the way through the conjugation. So the endings, though, are a bit different. You will need to add an S. You will need to add those ones you know for the new. You also know this ending for the vous form and this ending for the plural form. This one is different for the je form. And here also it is different. It is, different than the you don't want to, confuse. It's different, the ER verbs. That's what I'm saying. Today, we are studying the reverbs. So let's see together. Je vends, I sell. Tu vends, you sell. Of course, I sell or I am selling, you sell, you are selling. Il vend, he sells. Elle vend, she sells. On vend, one sells. Nous vendons, we sell. Vous vendez, you sell. Ils vendent, they sell. Elles vendent, they sell. So you notice here, this is the ending for those verbs in the je and the tu form. And then you do not add any ending for the il, elle, and on forms. You just take the stem. That's all. You're not adding anything. And then you add the ONS, EZ for the nous and vous form, and then the ENT in the plural forms here. So you notice that you do not pronounce those final S. Je vends, tu vends. You don't say je vends, tu vends. No, no, no. Je vends, tu vends. You do not pronounce that S either here or that Z or that T. Nous vendons, vous vendez, ils vendent, elles vendent. Again, you do not pronounce either the en sound here, even though it's spelled ENT and it should be en, but you do not pronounce that sound. You just pronounce it as if it was like a silent E. Ils vendent, elles vendent. So we just hear that D. That's all we hear in the plural forms. So a few of the verbs that conjugate like vendre. So those verbs are relatively useful, right? So attendre, to wait. For example, j'attends le bus. Oh, you know that already, huh? That you have a verb here that starts with a voyelle. So instead of having a je, you drop that E and it becomes J apostrophe. Entendre, to hear. Notice the pronunciation here. Attendre, entendre, to hear. Tu entends le bruit? Do you hear the noise? Rendre, to return or to turn in. Elle rend ses devoirs. Rendre visite à quelqu'un, it's very important when you want to say that you visit people. If you visit countries, museum, you're going to use the verb to visit, visiter, visiter en français. But when you want to say that you are visiting people, you are going to use rendre visite à. For example, il rend visite à ses parents. He visits his parents. Répondre, to reply, to answer, to respond. For example, nous répondons au professeur. Perdre, to lose. Vous perdez souvent vos clés. Vous perdez souvent vos clés. You often lose your keys. Et descendre, to go down, to descend, to get off. Il descend du bus, they're getting off the bus. So voilà, a few verbs. Those verbs are quite useful, and they all conjugate like vendre, and they all regular verbs. Voilà, merci beaucoup. À bientôt. Au revoir.